Rematch Tech. Is it exploiting, skill issue, or fair? You all know that I like to dribble because, well, breaking ankles is what I find enjoyable in this game. Let's start off with Blade Shot and Fake Blade Shot. A Blade Shot is basically a self-set bicycle kick. With the nerfs to its shot power, I think that this move is now fair. Honestly, it's always been fair. If you couldn't block it before, I think you're a bot. This is definitely fair. A fake blade shot is when you do a blade shot setup, but instead of bicycle, you either set it up as a pass or you flick it to yourself, then you shoot. This is also fine as it is something very basic and easy to defend. Even in a 1v1 against the goalie, it is still savable. Fair. Now it's time to talk about the infamous Ippy Slide, the most controversial tech in the game at one point. Ippy Slide is when you push ball then pull the ball back to your feet. This resulted in very easy ankle breaks. Top players could still defend it on launch up to patch 2. This move was very powerful, but after some nerfs in patch 3, specifically in patch 4, the move is now more balanced. The new Ippy animation as well as the new stamina requirement to even make this move makes it fair. If you still can't defend this, you're a bot for real. Next up is Vexis Dash or flash stepping. This is done by basically stance dashing into a push ball or a loose ball. This creates a forward drag, moving the ball and the player maybe about a meter upfield from the ball's former location. This can result into some clean ankle breaks in a 2v1, but not so useful in a 1v1 situation. Although it still works, you just have to use it properly. Also, the success rate of this tech working properly is probably about 50-50 to those that don't know how to use it properly because it gets stuck on the floor. Like, I call it gravity ball because it gets stuck there and yeah, it kind of messes up the flow of your dribble. Let's just say this one is underutilized so people don't care about it much. So I think that this one is fair. Now let's get into forward swipe push balling. This move is done by using your stance into a forward swipe and animation canceling it into a push ball. After doing so, you sprint to the ball and upon touching it, you turn your camera and repeat. That's right, this one is harder to do so less people can do it, making it a hotter tech for people to cry about. On release up to patch 2, I personally didn't use this as I had my own weapons, but in patch 3, the only way to maintain speed on the ball was to either sprint cancel or forward swipe push ball. Initially, I thought forward swipe push ball was nerfed hard in patch 3 because the ball would end up so close to you, making your iframe shorter. Boy, was I wrong. This resulted into some crazy interactions with Ippy Slide. You could basically do a forward swipe into an Ippy Slide with 0 stamina. You didn't even need to press or hold your sprint button to Ippy Slide it. It was gross. It was bad. This was possible even with 0 stamina, which I do think was an exploit in patch 3, which I mentioned on my patch 3 dribble guide and was against it. However, patch 3 was so terrible to play and I desperately wanted to play Rematch, so I started to use forward swiping but never up to 0 stamina. This led into the creation of the forward swipe drag, which we'll get into later. In patch 4, forward swipe push ball has been adjusted and no longer has the Ippy combo. Huge W. You can still do forward swipe push ball with 0 stamina at a slower speed, but this doesn't matter because defender speed is so much better in patch 4, making this move now fair. Latest tech, forward swipe drag, is basically a forward swipe push ball, but instead of doing another forward swipe, you stance and pull the ball like a Vexis. This move is very good in patch 3 due to the ball being so close after doing a forward swipe push ball. But in patch 4, the ball is further, resulting into having to turn your camera more. This still is a working tech, but because the angle is greater, you don't move up the field as much as before. And it makes it more readable. This is still good in messy situations. Everybody, you need to learn to use the stance magnet, guys. It is really strong, really powerful. You can use it on anything. You just have to be creative, alright? As this move is harder to do now, it garners a lot of attention, especially of the less skilled players, calling it an exploit when it's basically just making use of the basic stance mechanic in the game. I think this one is skill issue. Push cut dribbling. Push cut dribbling is actually, in my opinion, one of the hardest things to master in the game. I, for one, am not a push cut dribbler because, well, I can't do it. It's really hard to do, and I don't think just anybody can do this. I'm sure eventually, if I practice and train really hard and put in the hours, I can do push cut dribbling. But I'll be honest, guys, at the moment, I can't. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna frown upon it. That doesn't mean I'm gonna flame it when I see it. I think it's actually really incredible to do. It's like watching Fade on Apex. I think this is skill issue, guys. MJ Glide. Ah, yes. My bread and butter. This is a very easy move that everyone can learn to do, which I don't know why people aren't using it yet. While moving backwards or diagonal back, hit your stance, then release it. Then sprint, then release. It's that simple and easy to do. This results into a short spin move or a rolling ball animation that's pretty quick. This tech is used to either create space or cut your momentum. Used properly, you can beat any defender by simply changing directions, changing your pace, and hitting the perfect push ball timing. To defend it, just be patient, wait for the push ball, or wait for the swipe or the Ippy, and then you tackle me. In patch 3, this style was absolutely cooked. You could not play this way because movement and push balling was so slow. In patch 4, it's back and you can bet your I'm happy about it. I'm chalking this up to skill issue. It's boosting time. Silver Boost is running into one direction, then suddenly going the opposite direction while extra efforting at the same time, doing 2 dribble inputs after. This was a very easy boost tech. This was originally called Golden Boost until the real Golden Boost was discovered. Basically, the poor man's Golden Boost was used on release up to patch 2, and then patch 3, it was killed. Although you could still do it from a walking turn. People started using it in a simpler way, extra efforting into a rainbow flick into a shot. This was very powerful to get goals, but was very defendable. I think this is fair. Here we go, guys. It's the big one. Golden Boost and all the ways you can do it. There are many ways to Golden Boost. In reality, you can Golden Boost almost anything. Golden Boost is when you suddenly turbo boost the ball into 3 inputs, which in the past made you teleport into 2 locations into a power shot or a pass. This is considered the peak, the hardest rematch tech to do due to it requiring perfect timing and many buttons to press, meaning not everyone can pull it off. I can agree that it's pretty exploity because of the teleport effect, but then you'd also have to agree that prio merchants are also exploiting, right? Because they also teleport when they shoot. Before Golden Boost got nerfed, it was defendable. It really was defendable by the top elite players, but obviously not by the casuals and the boosted elites. You know there are boosted elites, guys, right? Because you just need a lot of playtime and then just join a good 4 other people and you're boosted. That's the reality. Accept it, there really are boosted elites. Just because you're an elite doesn't make you elite. That's a reality. I've always been okay with Golden Boost being nerfed, which it was in patch 3. The speed and execution of the inputs were harder to do, making it rarely seen in games. And if someone was able to do it, it was more defendable, because it no longer teleported. It was slowed down. However, as someone that has probably done the input thousands of times, I still hit it 80% of the time. It was actually nice that not everyone could do it, but now in patch 4, Golden Boost is much easier to do for the common folk. Anybody can do it now. Once you guys figure out how to do it easier, everybody is going to be doing it. But with it becoming more accessible, it was further nerfed. Its speed is much slower now and has become very, very readable. Can we finally agree that this is skill issue? In a game with turbos and walls, it's hard not to want to be creative with your playstyle. But it is still a football game with 4 other players on the field. Teamwork makes the dream work. Passing is better. The reality is, this is true. However, just like in real football, each player has their own role and a playstyle for that role. Let's say I'm a defender. There are several ways to defend in this game. You can either be a tackle bot, which tackles every attacker efficiently, effectively, or the most annoying pass interceptor or push ball stealer in the game. You can be a striker that is a prio merchant. Every long ball that comes your way is an automatic goal because for some reason you get priority over everybody else. That's a thing in the game, guys. A striker that can attack from outside the box, cutting in with tech to make a goal. Basically, a striker that knows how to dribble. That's a thing. A striker slash midfielder that plays the wing to pass to your prio merchant because, well, that is the meta thing to do, right? A midfielder that plays short quick passes to set up a play, also known as short ball, which is actually one of my favorite ways to play the game, especially if you combine it with some dribbling. You could be the midfielder that breaks ankles and establishes that yes, I will destroy you if you try to defend me in 1v1. So you put 2 people on me, drawing so much attention that your strikers have a higher chance to goal. That's how I like to play. And with that, it's a wrap. Boy, I can't wait to see the comments this time. If you like this video, smash that like button and of course sub. 80% of you guys aren't sub, and when you sub, the world is a better place to live in. Comment whatever you want, and as always, I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.